Hi there. I hope your day was great. I'm going to read Reddit stories as usual today. So let's get started. This is the first story. The OP here is 30 female. I started a relationship with Joe, 31 male, in the middle of May of this year. Shortly after we started going out, he asked me to be his plus one to his friend Meg's wedding. I have never met Meg, but I agreed to go. We RSVP'd and Joe booked plane tickets and a hotel room. A couple days ago, I ended a relationship with Joe. It's important to note that while money was not the main reason for the breakup, it was one of the things we argued about most. I am very frugal, perhaps to a fault, and Joe likes to spend money on creature comforts and trips, and often expects me to do the same. Joe lives at home rent free, while I have my own apartment. I live pretty much paycheck to paycheck with a small stash set aside in savings. There's still about 5 weeks left to the wedding. I ended the relationship when I did, partly because I didn't want to be in the pictures from the wedding and cause people to feel bad when they looked back at those pictures. I'm returning everything Joe left in my apartment, save a few things he was okay with me keeping. I also offered to pay for my plane ticket and my half of the hotel stay as a good faith gesture. It comes to over $400, which is just about everything I have in savings. Today, Joe contacted me and asked me if I could pay another $125 on top of all of that to offset Meg's cost for my plate and everything at the reception. He says it's so close to the wedding, and since deposits have gone to the vendors, I should pay my portion. I think that more than a month notice is ample time for Meg to either fill the seat or for Joe to find another plus one, who would also be benefiting from my paying half of the hotel stay. I also think that since I wouldn't pay the money if I was attending, then I shouldn't have to pay now that I'm not. It's my understanding that people not going to weddings after they RSVP is just one of those costs that's inevitable, and I'm at least doing Meg the courtesy of going over a month's notice. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. As she stated, 1 month is enough time for Joe to find someone else or Meg to, I don't know, do something else about it. Not the asshole. She's already paying $400, which she mentions is her savings, so oh my god, my cat. Oh my god, my cat. That's what I was saying. Enough time. My cat came by. Very sneakily. We'll get into the next story. Okay, so here is the second story. The OP here is 25 male. So I work in a mid-sized company where most of us are pretty chill, but we are all under pressure to show initiative because there's talk of promotions soon. Over the last couple of months, I've been working on a side project at home. It's basically a dashboard tool that organizes some of our team's data way faster than the clunky software we are stuck with. I never promised it to the company. It was more of for fun learning project that I happened to mention casually at lunch one day. One of my co-workers, 29 female, immediately lit up and asked if she could demo it during her upcoming presentation to our boss. She said it would look good for the whole team and might open doors for both of us. Here's the thing, I don't feel comfortable with that. The tool isn't fully finished, I'm not ready to share it, and honestly, it feels wrong that she wants to put her name on something I spend my nights and weekends building. I told her I would rather not have it shown around yet. She got visibly annoyed and said I was being selfish. What shellfish? Okay. And holding back the team. A couple other workers gave me side eyes like I was hoarding credit. Now I feel weird, like maybe I am making it about me when it could help everyone. But at the same time, it's my project. Nobody asked me to do it, nobody offered to help build it, and if I just hand it over, won't that set the predicament that my work is free for anyone to use for their own shine? So, am I the asshole for not letting her present something I made outside of work hours, even if it might have benefited the team? Not the asshole, oh my god. Something I hate so bad is people thinking they are entitled to something they never contributed to. Like, where is the logic in you wanting to demo it in a presentation when you did not work on it? I mean, asking him alone, like advising him, oh, you should present your work, blah 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 blah. That would be fine, but like you wanting credit for yourself too, cheap as fuck. Get out of here. Okay, go to the next story. Okay, I remember the number this time. This is the third story. My wife and I have a 7-month-old baby. My wife is on maternity leave, but works Sundays at the local market for 4 hours, about 40 minutes from home. I work a normal morning, what? Morning MF 9 to 5. I'm not sure what MF stands for, but we'll move on. For the last few months, she pumps enough milk throughout the week. We only need 10 ounces max for the weekend so that I have enough to feed the baby on the day she works. I stay home with baby and it's nice. I get to bond with her and be the primary parent. My wife told me today that she is tired of pumping and that she wants me to start coming to sit at the market with her so that she can breastfeed the baby. Basically would look after our daughter at the market while she worked. It's serving customers berries and chocolate for a friend's business. When baby wants to eat, the idea is that I would take over working while my wife breastfeeds. I drew a line in the sand and said there is no way I'm okay with that. It would be difficult to look after her and it basically means I'm working 6 days per week. I suggested we feed her a bottle or two of formula instead, but my wife is absolutely against that in fear that baby will prefer formula. Am I the asshole for refusing it? Going 40 minutes away from home just to like sit around and wait until the baby is hungry so the mother can breastfeed is wild. Not the asshole. Okay, we'll move on before I start yapping. Okay, this is the fourth story. I've been roommates with a friend of mine for 2 years. When we moved in, we left my TV in a living room as a temporary fix so we wouldn't have to pitch in for a new TV when money was already so tight. The idea was that until we could afford one to share for the common space, we could share mine. My roommate in the meantime kept her TV in her room. Last week, I mentioned to an online friend that I was sick and tired of needing to get out of the bed and enter a common area every time I wanted to watch anything. She pitched the idea to just bring it to my room, which, honestly, I hadn't even considered because I didn't want to be rude, but the idea is now seeming more appealing by the day. Now, here's what getting me. I just found out my roommate will be having guests in the coming weeks. Because of the timing, I worry she'll think I'm moving it just to the spite she and her guests. I haven't even floated the idea to her yet because I'm afraid she'll take it the wrong way. I'm a very anxious gal at heart, and just the thought of talking to her about this is giving me the jeebies. Is there a way to go about this? I'm not thinking of any extra advice is appreciated. I mean, she already has a TV in her room, so why is a TV in common area necessary? Somebody please tell me that. I'm not really sure. They can just move it around until and unless it's like fixed into the wall. You can just move it, Let her bring her TV outside, you take your TV inside. How's that? Yeah, we'll go. We'll keep moving. Okay, this is the fifth story. Okay, so the OP here is 19 male. Me and my roommate Kyle, 20 male, live in this small apartment. He's always trying life hacks he sees online, which, whatever, fine. But last week, he decided the place smells stale and literally boiled some cinnamon sticks and cloves and other stuff I don't know. It was like reddish leaves or something for hours. I could smell it from the hallway before I even got to the door. It was like an Amish going into a bed bath and beyond for the first time. Don't know what that means. I told him it smells like a funeral home, which it did, not gonna lie, and he got offended like I insulted his grandma. Now he's spraying it in the living room every day and acting weird about it. I feel bad because he was trying to be nice, but also my eyes are literally burning. Am I the asshole? This is so funny. The way it's written is so funny. I mean, could I have told it in like a nice way? Like I think like some people are okay with those type of like in the comments, like they laugh it off. Some people do feel bad. I think it just depends. You can like say sorry and bring in actually good air fresheners. So I don't know, he keeps them aside, I guess. I don't know. Okay, this is, I believe, the sixth story. The OP is not really mentioned, so let's just see. My brother-in-law Sammy lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters Olivia and Solane, Sloane. I'm bad with names. 18. With him a couple of months ago. His sister, my wife, and I have one daughter, Zoe, 16, and she and her cousins aren't close but get along fine. Olivia and Solane have no respect for Zoe's privacy. None. They used to walk into her room and take everything they get their hands on. Makeup, phone accessories, clothes, school laptop, etc. Zoe complained a lot, and I've already asked the girls to respect Zoe's privacy and stop taking things. My wife and Sammy saw no issue with this. After all, they're girls, and this is typical teenage girls' behavior. I completely disagreed. The last straw was when Zoe bought a $60 MAC makeup kit that looks like a paint set that she saved up for a month, and one of the girls, Soleil, took it without permission and ruined it by mixing shades together while using it. Don't know much about makeup, but that's what Zoe said when she found the kit on her bed and was crying. I told my wife, and she said she would ask Soleil to apologize, but I got Zoe a lock after I found she was moving valuable belongings out of the house because of this incident. Sammy and his daughter saw the lock and weren't happy. The girls were extremely upset. Sammy asked about it, and I straight up told him. He said, my daughters aren't thieves. It's normal that girls of the same age borrow each other's stuff. He said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for $15 from Walmart and shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place, and suggested my wife take care of this defect in Zoe's personality, trying to appear older than she is. He accused me of being overprotective and babying Zoe with this level of enablement. I told him this is between me and my wife, but she shamed me for putting a lock on Zoe's door for her cousins to see and preventing them from spending time with her, saying I was supposed to treat them like daughters. Then demanded I remove it, but I said this lock does not get removed till her brother and his daughters are out of her house. Oh my god. She got mad. I was implying we kicked them out and said her family will hate me for this. So I reminded her that I let Sammy and his family move in, which is something her own family refused to do, so she should start with blaming them for not taking their own son and nieces / granddaughters in. If it wasn't for her family's unwillingness to help, we wouldn't be dealing with this much disturbance at home. Everyone's been giving me and Zoe silent treatment, and my wife is very much upset over this. What? Not the asshole. Even, okay, sharing stuff can be asked, like, oh, borrowing each other's stuff. You should ask, can I take this? So easy. I think the mother should obviously take side of her child. Next story. Okay, so this is the seventh story. I have a sister that's 6 years older than me. My parents for years canceled on me last minute because of my sister. I have a basketball game. Oops, sorry, sister doesn't feel like going out. I'm graduating. Oops, sorry, sister had a bad day at work. They have missed both major and smaller events in my life because of her meltdowns. I met the love of my life. We decided to tie the knot. From the beginning, I told my parents how I am worried my sister will ruin another special moment in my life. My mom told me over and over again it would not happen. The day of the wedding, I received a voicemail from mom saying they couldn't come because my sister's dog was sick and she was upset. I was hurt. My best friend, however, is a jokester. He took my phone, then went to my fiance and asked if he could post a video of our wedding as a gift on social media. She loved his idea. I had no idea about it until I came home. Our honeymoon was at a lakeside cabin, no cell service. The post caption was, "My best friend. He's an amazing person, even if his parents never showed up for him." Video was still pictures of us next to her parents, me on the dance floor, cutting the cake, where you would normally see both parents in the wedding pictures. The sound behind the video was my mom's voicemail explaining how they couldn't come because my sister's dog was sick. I came home a week later to hundreds of messages, family members from both sides insisting I take it down. I was told my sister hasn't stopped crying. My mother is refusing to leave the house. I may be the asshole here. I didn't take it down when I got my messages. I didn't call my family back right away. I waited until my vacation time was over at work and enjoyed my time with my wife in our new home before I contacted anyone. My dad told me to take down the video. It was just a bad night for them. They said that they will make it up for me and my wife for not coming. My reply was exactly, "How do you plan to make up my wedding? It's a once in a lifetime thing. You chose to ignore my feeling on the whole matter." Then he just repeated he will make it up to me. I told him I would take down the video only when he made up missing my wedding. Frustrated, we both hung up the phone before we both said things we shouldn't have. Am I the asshole here? I could have just taken down the video. Why though? Right, that was so fun. I wish I was in the family. I would not be the one who would insist on taking down their video. I would repost it if that platform allows it to be. Amazing. Shout out to that best man. Oh my god, that's like some, like really good thinking. Like that's like, I don't know, using 100% of your brain power, I guess. Next story. Okay, I believe this is the 8th story. Sorry if I'm wrong. My aunt and uncle are paying for my cousin's college. My dad had a college fund for me, but he has stipulations like he wanted nothing below a B for grades and to pre-approve my classes I take, weekly meetings to discuss grades and a bunch of other stuff. Which would be fine if you have a normal dad. Mine isn't. My dad has a temper and I spent 6th to 12th grade stressed out about grades and being screamed at or grounded over things that sometimes weren't even my fault, like a teacher not updating online grading and an assignment being marked missing because of it, and getting my backpack and locker randomly searched by him for no reasons besides to make sure I'm not hiding anything. I decided to pay for school myself because 1, not being stressed over getting screamed at. 2, I didn't feel like constantly worrying that he would disapprove of a class or a grade and decide not to pay, which I could totally see him doing. I would rather be in debt than controlled for 4 more years. I finished my first year. Well, my family got together on the 4th and, well, sometimes they are nosy. They were talking about my cousin's school, and my uncle looked at my dad and said, "Well, how much is my school name costing you?" I said, "What are you asking him for? I'm the one paying for it." Later on, my dad was pissed off and said it was out of line to say that, and I embarrassed him. I didn't do to embarrass him, I was just being honest. He doesn't even know how much tuition is, so he was the wrong person to ask. Am I the asshole? No. Next story. Okay, so this is the 9th story, I believe. It's going to be the last, probably, if I don't find something interesting, like an interesting title. So let's go. Context. My sister, 27 female, and I, 18 female, lost our dad a year ago. And wait, in between. I'm sorry if you hear like vehicles honking, because I don't know for what sake people are still on the road at 1 a.m. but they are. So I just have to deal with it. Sorry about that, if that pisses off someone. Moving on. He was my only parent. Mom was never in mine or my sister's life. Dad left money, inheritance, for me and my sister, and she used her inheritance to get new cars and renovate her house. I live with my aunt right now because my brother-in-law didn't let me stay with my sister. I'm planning on using my inheritance money to pay for college tuition. I have always wanted to be a doctor but haven't decided which branch yet. My sister and I haven't been close. It started after she got married to her chronically ill husband, who was allowed to make backhanded comments about Dad and mock his illness and make a scene at his funeral only because he is ill and shouldn't be held accountable for his behavior. I have distanced myself, but my sister kept visiting a lot lately, venting about my brother-in-law's condition. He's been in and out of the hospital for heart problems and in need for a surgery. She brought up my inheritance money several times, but I ended up cutting the conversation. She then straight up asked if I could pay for her husband's surgery and she'd pay it back in less than a year. I felt uneasy because if I give her money from my inheritance, which is a large amount, then there's no guarantee she'll pay me back because it's time to apply for college. I'm taking a gap year, but I know my sister can't pay back that much, and I felt I was risking my future. I refused to help, and she had a meltdown at my aunt's house, calling me heartless, cruel, with no empathy. She said that her husband's health should be a priority, and I needed to help because education is nothing compared to someone's health, and asked if I would be happy to see her as a widow and my nephew with no father. My aunt suggested others pay, but most of them cut my sister and her husband off. I argued that her husband's poor health isn't my fault after she kept blaming and guilt-tripping me. She kept crying, and although my aunt decided to stay out of it, she said that I should be prepared for the permanent damage in my relationship with my sister if I don't help her now. She's been sending texts and pictures of her family telling me this is what I was saying no to. A happy, healthy family with a healthy husband and father. I cried and felt like I was being selfish, not good aunt and sister. I asked my friend and he said let them sell the cars and all the luxurious stuff they bought to afford the surgery and warned me if I give them money I'll never get it back and may not be able to go to medical school. Not the asshole. She did not ask, but how are you going to spend your part of the money for something that's not related to your husband's health and expect someone else to pay theirs just because see, there's no reason. So not the asshole. I mean, I don't think anybody would want to stay in a relationship with sisterhood relationship with someone like this. I would not. You don't too. Hehe. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my god. I guess that's all for today, because I can feel my nose blocking. So before it blocks and I cannot speak anymore, I think we should stop. We'll meet tomorrow. Maybe. I'm not promising anything. Until then, bye bye. Ta-ta.